Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Entrepreneur, and I make this video with a little bit of trepidation. Not because I'm necessarily scared of the topic, not because I'm scared of the guy I'm going to be talking about, but because I feel really bad. Like, I know he just wants attention, and even though he will not be named in this video, by making the video, I'm essentially going to give it to him. And I'm giving him what he wants because he has been picking fights with other YouTubers for months to great channel subscription growth and not a whole lot else. Now, I should be noted that I have never been particularly offended by any of his comments towards me. I have been called so many things. I've been called a fat pig. I have been called bald, even though that is not true. And I have been called a real-life Eric Cartman, which I actually think is kind of funny because it's true, although with me slimming down a little bit and losing a lot of weight, hopefully I can upgrade to Kenny or Stan in the next few months. No, what rubs me wrong against this particular individual is that he has, in effect, insulted the very people that we are here to help. He has called them terrible names. He has made fun of their lifestyles. And it seems like whenever you disagree with him, instead of respectfully disagreeing, he will just continue to go after and after. What he wants is a fight. And you know what? I've played into that a little bit because I have responded, never using his name. I have never once used his name because while I will refute some of the points, he himself is not worth responding to. So therefore, I don't respond to him directly. I just respond to the points. But even that is going to come to an end because he doesn't make points that are worth arguing. And I think by making fun of him, even on the side, is not only giving him more attention than he deserves, but frankly, it's a little childish on my end. So what this is this is essentially going to be me laying out what my problem with this bearded YouTuber is, what he has done, my response, what my problem is, and my goodbye. This is officially my breakup video. I will not be watching his views anymore. I have unsubscribed to the channel, and I'm going to move on. And if I annoy him so much, I recommend for his sanity, he do the same thing. Also, it should be noted that the comment section will either be completely disabled or they will be fully moderated where I have to approve the comments before they go onto the page. This is not because I'm afraid of his response. It's not because I'm afraid of his fans. It's not because I'm afraid of anything. It's because I don't want his name anywhere on this video, and the only way to ensure that is to disable the comments. If you want to respond about this in other videos, I guess you can try, but when people search up this video, unless they do some detective work, they will not know who I'm talking about, which I think is for the best. Now, it should be noted that when I first came across this individual, I came across him because someone said, "This guy insulted you." Now, I have never taken that personally before. I went to his channel and I didn't even see it as much of an insult. The guy was responding to me not driving on St. Patrick's Day, and he said very clearly that he felt that was not a good thing to do because even if you combine my videos, if you combine Uberman's viewers, all those people, that would not be enough of a strike to hurt Uber. And I actually agreed with that. I didn't see that as an insult. I said, yes, you're right. That will not prove its point. But then in my video, I never said do it for one day and stop. I said I am stopping completely, and I have not driven since then. I will probably drive one trip this weekend just to stay activated with the platform, but that will be it. So I didn't see it as an insult, and it was a good alternate perspective. And I subscribed to him because I like to subscribe to as many ride-share channels as I want, not only to see what their perspective on things are, but because I might want to have them on a podcast someday. I might want to do a collab someday because if your opinions are different, but they are done in a respectful manner where we can disagree, but we're not clawing at each other, then I feel the discussion is healthy. I was kind of hoping that this guy would have a healthy discussion, and maybe someday we could even do a collab video, because even though he disagreed with me on the first video that I saw, it was a well thought out argument, but the respect didn't last very long. Shortly afterwards, I did a video about the Lyft driver who left the passenger in the airport parking lot because he realized his fare was going to be $6. Now, I made a comment that, frankly, a lot of YouTubers disagreed with me on, so it's not like this was the only guy, where they said, they said, well, I think that's terrible that you can drop someone off in the middle of the ride. One person said, that's breaking the contract. All true. I made a follow-up video explaining that I actually encourage people to finish the trips they start, but my stance was, you are an independent contractor and you are allowed to kick anyone out of your car for whatever reason you want, so long as it's not, race related or religion based, which it should be noted, people have kicked people out of their car for voting for Donald Trump or voting for Hillary Clinton, and apparently no one sees a problem with that. But kicking someone out because they're not going to make the minimum wage, that apparently is a problem on the driver's end. And again, it's not like he was the only one who disagreed with me on this. It was just the way he disagreed. He said that was an irresponsible thing to say, and the TOS says this, and this guy would have made $14 an hour. Now, that was getting a little bit more personal, but again, there were some valid points. It was valid enough that I made a follow-up video where I read through the TOS and I found out, did the TOS give you permission to do this? By the way, it totally does. But you know what? He got snippy enough with me where I decided not to name him. I decided not to name him because I kind of saw what it was. He was picking a fight. He wanted to pick a fight and he wanted me to respond to him. So I responded to him, but I didn't name him the name. I was also going to do the whole thing about proving how it would have been $6, but thankfully my buddy Ride with Peterson, Lancey Peterson, here's another shout out. He's one of the most underrated of our YouTube channels. He actually did the trip and showed that they would have made $7.24. And even though this other guy lives in Chicago, does not drive in the LA area, admitted that he does not know what the rates are, continued to insist that the rates were right. Like, his rates were right, not the ones we did and Peterson did, which, we could actually verify, but his theoretical rates and numbers that he cocked up in his head, yeah, those were right, even though he had no proof. And he went on podcasts and other videos and kept bringing it up and up and up as if I was still thinking about it. I wasn't. I made my videos, I refuted him, and I did a very good job of it, might I add, and yet he still considered it a fight. He still considered it a fight. I need to pull him in, probably because when there's drama starting, you get subscribers, and that's what it's really there for. That's the only reason drama exists on YouTube, is to get subscribers from the other person's audience. Even so, this is not what my problem with him was. I was annoyed enough not to respond to him by name, but this was not the key issue. No, the key issue has to be with his overall theme that if you can get out there and drive, you can make money on Uber. Now, it should be noted, I have actually held a pretty big belief on that. I do believe that if you work hard enough, you can make money on Uber. And in fact, I have to even admit, and this is where I will wholeheartedly say, I do respect the guy. I respect him in this area. If you get out there and you do it, he has an attitude that he is not going to complain. He's not going to complain. He's just going to get in the car. He is going to drive and he's going to make his money. And he's showing he's making $2,000 a week. And you know what? That's fine. That's fine. I actually respect that. I respect people who work for a living. That is perfectly fine. And when Uberman made a comment on his channel about this guy that, he should not have to drive 60 to 70 hours. He made a video, which I did not watch in all fairness. And the comment was that maybe he drove 50 to 70 mile hours because he wanted to. And you know what? That's fine. If that's where the comment ended, I can't argue that point of view. That's his point of view. If he wants to drive 70 hours a week, that's fine. Where I took a little issue was when he would actually get on his videos and people would say, I have a family, and I have a son, or I have a daughter, and I have a wife, and I can't do 70 hours a week. I need to make a living wage on 40 hours a week. And his response was always the same. Hey, you lazy bums. Do what you have to do. What, you don't want to drive? You're lazy. You're stupid. That's where I actually took serious concern. Because you know what? Hey, it is perfectly fine to drive 70 hours a week if you want. But there are a lot of people who can't afford to drive 70 hours a week. They can sometimes only afford to drive 40 hours a week and 30. And you know what? With what Uber is paying, and he probably agrees with me because he's done videos against Uber Pool, they aren't making money to live off of that. You can only make the $2,000 a week usually if you're driving hours that are not sustainable. And I know they're not sustainable because I used to work for Disneyland, and I've shared this story before, but I'll share it again for context. And there was like 3 months where I was working 60 hours a week. Yes, I was getting a lot of time and a half. Yes, I was getting a lot of double time. I was making way more money than you would think someone working at Disneyland would make. But I was sick. A lot. I lost weight, so much weight, because I wasn't eating properly, because I wasn't sleeping properly, because I was so burnt out. And I was actually getting to the point where I passed out at work, and the union had to get involved, and they had to get Disney to change my work schedule. And in fact, I got a doctor-mandated 1-week paid vacation that did not come out of my salary or my time off. That is how bad it got. Now, in hindsight, yeah, that sounds like a good thing. You got a forced week off, but that week off wasn't done having fun. It was recovering because it was that emotionally draining. And so to tell people they have to do this or they're lazy or they're bums, that is wrong. I actually consider that to be a very evil thing to do, and that's where he lost me. By the way, it should be noted, I did watch a little bit of his recent video, and he wanted to clarify that when he calls people bums, he's actually calling them ladies. So for all the women who love watching his channel, it's nice to know that he considers woman to be a hindrance and worthy of using the term as an insult. But whatever, so I stopped watching his videos, but yet he still keeps coming to my channel. He keeps going to other podcasts. He keeps arguing the $6 fact. He keeps insulting me like, oh, if you had a, you Uber suits so much. If you report on the news, you'd have a couple videos a day. But I guess you need to get your facts straight first. And the only reason he does it is to get attention. And you know what? If he wants to give me attention, that's fine. I've got 7,000 subscribers and counting, and I'm getting sponsorships, and I've got more than one YouTube channel. I will take all the eyeballs you want to send my way to me if you want. And if you don't want to do that, then I would follow my advice at the end of the video so that you know how not to do that. But personally, I don't want to give any attention or eyeballs to him. There are other YouTubers that are not only much more respectful to you as a person and don't think the world of themselves. There are people who will help you. This guy doesn't even help you. Sure, he shows you that he's making $2,000 a week and he tells you you got to go out there and he's got to get it. But does he give you any tips on driving? Does he show you where some of the best locations are to start the day? Does he do any of that? No, he just shows that he's making money, and therefore his channel is fairly useless to me. I mean, in all fairness, I don't show that stuff either, but then this is a news and commentary channel. This is not a help you drive for Uber channel, so I don't have to actually do that. No, I would much rather you go to other channels that help you with your driving and with your news. I want to send you to Uber Hints. I want to send you your driver Mike. I want to send you to Drive Girl Drive. I want to send you to Drive with Peterson. I want to send you to JJ, the karaoke driver. I'd love to send you to your personal driver. Go check out Drive with Christian. He's only got like 100 subscribers. Go give him some subs, and he's a nice guy, it seems. I mean, there are so many other people I would much rather you go to. The Blessed Driver, yeah, I love her too. Go to hers. Go to any of them, because they will not only give you good information, they'll do it in a way that's not condescending. And somebody had a comment for me like, Kevin, I don't think you should be fighting with this person. You guys should be working together. And I agree. The problem is, he's not interested in working with me. He's interested in fighting. Hence, that's why I have to just cut it off now. I've already unsubscribed. I will not be watching his videos. I will not be responding to his videos. And I will not be making fun of him in any more videos from this point forward. If you enjoy this guy's videos, that's fine. To be perfectly honest, if I was watching the videos just as entertainment, maybe he wouldn't bother me too much, because compared to the other YouTube rideshare people out there, he's got a little bit of an edge that is definitely unique to his brand. My problem is that he talks down to the people that genuinely reach out because they are struggling and they want help. And I do find it admittingly a little hypocritical that he always opens the episode like, we're not going to be here to complain, and yet he spends the rest of the video complaining about people like me. By the way, I'm also going to note that just to respond to this one thing, this is the last thing I'll respond to, but for him to say that complainers are not successful, he has obviously never heard of Anita Scarcesian, a politician, a lobbyist, or heck, he hasn't seen what YouTube pays me every month, so there's actually a lot of money in complaining. Also, there is a point where you do need to complain, because while he is correct, you can make a lot of money if you're willing to put in the hours. YouTube pays so little that, you know what? If you're not willing to make this sacrifice, if you're not willing to cut out your personal life to make the money on Uber, then it becomes a struggle. And I don't think people working 40 hours a week should struggle the way they are. People who work 40 hours a week should definitely make more than minimum wage. And I wish you would be honest about how that $2,000 is made. He has to really be showing people, in my opinion, what the day looks like. When do you get up? When do you eat? Do you visit with friends? Do you see any movies? Do you play video games? What are your hobbies? Do you even have any hobbies? Because that's the thing. When you're getting to 70 hours a week, you are giving up your life. I have lived that life before, and you know what? I'm not doing it ever again. I refuse to do that ever again. I went through the 3 months where I wasn't talking to friends, I wasn't spending time with people, I wasn't watching movies, I was just working, sleeping, and getting sick on breaks because I was so overworked. I am not going to go back to that lifestyle, and I will fully denounce that message every single time. Unless you simply just like driving 70 hours a week. In that case, have fun. I guess we all do what we have to do to have fun. But yeah, that's where I'm going to end this. This is my breakup video. That is the last I'm going to say on the guy. And again, I'm going to disable the comments below, or they're going to be fully moderated, because I don't want people to be revealing this guy's name. I mean, I'm sure you can go to my other videos and find it out, but like say a year down the line you watch this video, that's going to be a lot harder, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the future. Comments will resume for all the other videos, and that's fine. I hope you guys will understand that. It's not a censorship thing, even though he claims it is. Like, I guess I'll just point out this last thing. He comes on like my comments board arguing with me, claiming that I'm wrong, and then says, read this message before I delete it. Dude, I've never deleted your comments. I never have. If you argue reasonably, they can stay. Honestly, people have called me way worse than what you called me, so don't even think you're the ultimate insulter. You're not. I'm just willing to let this part of my life slide. I want to get over it. I want to move on, get back to doing my news, get back to doing my commentaries, and encouraging people to not drive for Uber because I think they're getting screwed. You feel they're not getting screwed, that's fine. You can encourage them to drive for Uber. And if you don't like what I say, and if you don't want the drama, if fighting with me seems like it's wasting your time, you don't have to watch my videos either. You can consider this a mutual breakup to move on. In the meantime, enjoy driving, enjoy doing your live streams. Me, I'm going to make my videos, and during my downtime, I think I'll watch some .hack roots, or all that jazz, or maybe The Hobbit in 3D. I've actually got like a Simple Records run to make later today, so that's why I've got all this stuff out. Anyway, for everyone else, thank you for watching. Thank you for visiting. I truly appreciate all your comments. Even though the comments are going to be disabled for this video, I encourage you to comment on future videos. And if you aren't a subscriber, I would watch some other videos of mine first to find out what I do. But if you like those other videos, please consider subscribing. And I will see you guys at the movies. Have a good one.